Hi guys, not sure if it is 7:59 or if it's 8 o'clock, but I wanted to make sure that I got on here right on time. So while we're doing that, I'm going to show you, I forgot to show these, the last one I did. So here's my trusty, what do you call it, diffuser, which is super cool. You can actually have a blue if you want to have a blue, or you can just have it gray, which is a little bit less bright and scary. I've got frankincense and cedar wood in there for focus. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you are here, you either know about essential oils, you're just curious about my journey with essential oils, or you know zero about essential oils and you just want to learn the basics tonight. Either one are fine. Hello. So I'm just gonna start from the basics because I want to get everybody on the same page. Okay. So what are essential oils? So essential oils are the most important part of the plant. They're the most powerful part of the plant. They help them with pollination, they help with protection from predators, and they help with protection against fungus and bacteria. So they actually have it's 100 different natural compounds, and when those compounds interact with the body, they actually support every single body system. So a lot of the same things you see them doing for the plant, they can affect that same change within our own cells. The DNA structure, if you're a science person, I'm not a huge science person, but if you are, you know that the DNA structure of all living things are actually really, really close together. So plants and humans have a very close DNA, even though we're, visually so different, and obviously they're not sentient and all that stuff, but because the DNA is so similar, the compounds in essential oils interact with our cells and they can support respiratory, skeletal, muscular, endocrine, which is your thyroid, all of your hormones, immune system. So they also support healthy brain function as well as helping to balance a healthy weight. So not only are they useful for the health properties, the physical part of the body, they also help with us balancing the mind, body, and spirit. And when I say that, I know sometimes people can roll their eyes, but the thing is that you have a physical side, you have an emotional side, and you have a mental side, and all of those affect your health. If you have stress, that stress is going to show up later in something as simple as a cold or in something as scary as a heart attack. So the beautiful thing about essential oils is that they also affect our emotions. And the way that they do that is when you breathe them in through aromatherapy, they actually go right into your brain and they go through the limbic system, which is our sense of smell. All of the other senses, they actually go through a different part of the brain, which is a logic part of the brain. But when you breathe in, those smells actually go through the limbic system, which is your emotional center of the brain. So if you think about, for me, it might be gardenias, and they remind me of my Aunt May. So if I smell a gardenia, I'm suddenly taken back to Macon, Georgia, and it just makes me feel happy, like that time would. If you smell cinnamon, you might think about baking apple pie with your mom. Those are not only memories, but it's also an emotional effect that it has. So that's an amazing thing about aromatherapy and why that's becoming such a big deal these days, because we can also support our health by supporting our emotions. Another thing that they do, they help you wake up in the morning. They can help you get through a stressful part of the day. They can help you unwind at night. Another major thing people have trouble with is sleeping. So they can help you unwind. Oils are also not only good for your physical health, but you can actually use them to replace some of those chemicals that you have in your house. They're great for cleaning. Young Living actually has a whole line of cleaning products, which if you've been watching some of my videos, I just recently opened up my Thieves cleaning kit, and I'm super excited, and I'm sharing a bunch of DIYs because that is one of the things that scares me about cleaning, is the fact that if I'm about to get bleach on my hands, even Dawn, I hate doing dishes because I just feel like all those chemicals are just going right into my system. So with essential oils, you know that not only is it not chemicals, but it's also actually improving and supporting your body while you're using that, while you're cleaning. So no excuses anymore for not cleaning, guys, sorry. It also is great for beauty supplies. So replacing your shampoo, your lotion, your face wash, your makeup, even all of those things that we put chemicals on our body every day. If you think about being able to replace those and get rid of those toxic chemicals, how much better would your health be if you just didn't have those in your system? So How do we get essential oils, right? So I'm telling you, you should go get essential oils, but they're inside of a plant. So the way that we get them is by actually distilling them from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, fruits, rinds, resins, and herbs. So we're taking that part of the plant and we're turning it into something that we can put in a bottle and use in our body. There are over 300 oils on the planet. However, good news, you only need between 10 and 20 to have a good arsenal. So you don't have to go grabbing all 300 essential oils. 10 to 20 will do it. You also don't need an aromatherapy degree. So you don't have to be a scientist, you don't have to be a genius, you don't have to know everything about everything in order to use essential oils. You just need to know how you can get them into your body safely. Okay? So there's 3 different ways to use essential oils. There is the topical method, which is what the British use. There is the aromatherapy, breathing it in with a diffuser that the Germans use. And there is the I've just lost the word for it, cooking and ingesting, taking it in that way, which the French have used for decades. So diffusing, when you breathe it in, it gets into your body a little bit faster, but when you use it topically, it takes a little bit longer, but it actually lasts a little bit longer in the body as well. And the good news about these 2 methods, if there's anyone out there besides me that has some of those stomach issues, digestive issues, these 2 methods totally avoid the digestive system. They go right into your blood. That's the word. They go right into your blood and then right into your cells, and they get to work. And you don't have to worry about what percentage are you getting from that by digesting it. How long do they last? Okay. So when you get the oils into your system, they get in there. If you breathe them in, within 3 seconds, they are in the brain, liver, and thyroid. If you put them on your skin, they're inside your blood, inside your cells, within 26 seconds. And then they will stay inside of your body between 3 to 6 hours. That's if you're in a good health state. However, if you need more, if your body is unwell or you're in more need of support, they'll actually last longer. Your cells will hold in the essential oils to get everything that they can out of them. Even in medieval times, up to that point, they were using essential oils. However, it kind of went out of favor as science started to develop, and we had better man-made ways of taking care of health, and it kind of was less and less popular to use these natural methods. But after World War II, they kind of rediscovered essential oils and started doing some scientific research on them. And so since that point, there's been a lot of different science that's been done, and you can actually, if you Google it, you can see all of the different studies that they've done. It's a little bit hard for me to talk about the studies and what they can and can't do in the body because they're not actually FDA regulated. They're not regulated like medication, so you can't talk about it like medication, which is fine actually because it's not medicine. It's not like taking a thyroid pill and that's supposed to do one thing in your body. It's actually just supporting your system, in that case supporting the endocrine system, so that your body can actually take care of itself, so that it can do the function that it's meant to do, which is heal itself, maintain health, and live optimally. So, do they really work? Okay, so I'm going to tell you my story. So, if you know me well, you know that I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism about 3 or 4 years ago. Before that, I was always kind of a sickly child, asthma, allergies, digestion, weight issues, all of those things. But it really came to a head about 3 years ago when I was just so exhausted. I would barely make it up my steps at the end of the night, lay down on the couch, watch a bunch of Netflix, hoping I could fall asleep, drink wine to fall asleep, drink a bunch of coffee to get up in the morning. And I was just miserable. And the problem was I was not only physically miserable, but I was emotionally miserable and spiritually miserable because I'm a creative person and I wanted to be doing creative things, but I was just so exhausted at the end of the day. So I did a couple of things even before my essential oil journey. I stepped down from a management position into just a part-time position with my job. I cleared up a little time and I really got into doing my creative stuff. I started my jewelry business at that point. But even though I was having less stress in my life, I started doing some creative things I wanted to do. The problem was that I was still exhausted a lot of the time. So around end of November, right, it's a Black Friday weekend, I'm supposed to be doing all of this jewelry stuff, but I spent that next week just sitting on the couch and like, working on my computer from the couch because I was so tired. And I remember I'm in a Facebook group for entrepreneurs, and I remember typing in, does anybody else have hypothyroidism? Is there anything else I can do? And someone wrote back and they said, well, I use essential oils and it's really helped me a lot. We have a lot of the same issues. And I said, okay, I'll try it. So at the beginning of December, I got my first 2 bottles of Young Living essential oil. And by the beginning of January, a month later, I had more energy. I was able to wake up in the morning. I was sleeping better. And so I stopped taking my thyroid medicine, and I haven't taken it since. And I feel so much better now than I did in December, than I did for the past 10 years even. I haven't had this much energy without having to use, some form of caffeine or stimulant in years. I stopped drinking coffee. I just drink it for fun occasionally, but if I drink it, I have actually too much energy. So that sounds crazy. How did it work so fast, right? If I was taking medication for that long, what was it about the essential oils that made the difference? So to put it in the simplest terms, rather than medication, which is targeted for one particular thing, the essential oils go into your body and they support your body systems, and they just help your body actually heal. Rather than just masking symptoms, they're actually supporting your body and making you get healthier and making you stay healthier, right? So a huge part of it I mentioned a little bit ago is that I have digestive issues. I don't digest things super well. There's a lot of things I try not to eat. And I know that as I'm taking this medication, or as I'm taking vitamins or supplements for my thyroid, that only a percentage of that is going into my body. I'm only able to get help from a percentage of that. And I think it's as low as 10%, they say, if it's medication or vitamins. And so the essential oils, when I put them on my skin or breathe them in, are going right into my cells and going right around those digestive issues. And so I believe that is why it made such a big difference, because I didn't have to worry about that other problem of the digestion. I could just focus on my thyroid and focus on my endocrine system and focus on my overall health. So if you have digestive issues, this is a game changer. Pay attention, seriously, because you're missing out if you're trying to take in nutrients just through your digestion. So also, if you've known me for a while, I've always loved natural medicine. I hate going to the doctor. I would rather do it myself. And so I've used essential oils before. I've gone to Whole Foods, Amazon, whatever, and tried to get the more expensive ones with mediocre results, though. I'm always telling people in the wintertime, eucalyptus tea tree oil. If you've got a cold, everyone's always coming to me, what do I do? What's the natural cures for this? But the problem was when I was using those essential oils, it was yeah, they help, but it was not life-changing, right? I wasn't doing an essential oil 101 based on those essential oils. So even I was confused. Why do Young Living oils work when those other oils didn't? So it turns out that the scary thing is that there's no regulation. The FDA, because it's not medication, the FDA does not regulate what you have to say is inside the oil bottle in order to call it pure. There's only one regulation, and that is that there is at least 5% of an essential oil in that bottle in order to call it pure and therapeutic grade. Yikes. So 95% of that can be anything else, okay? So there are 4 levels of grades of essential oil, and I'm going to go through each of those. So grade A, which is the pure essential oil, it's therapeutic grade, and it's made from organically grown plants, and it's also distilled at low temperatures. So that also doesn't tell you how much oil is in there, but at least that 5% or whatever they decide to put is from an organically grown plant. Grade B, they're food grade, but that means that they can contain synthetics, pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, and other carrier oils. That's food grade, and that is officially scary. Grade C are perfume oils, which are only for aromatherapy purposes. Those can contain adulterated chemicals and solvents like hexane. So hexane, even though we can still use it in the US, was actually banned in Europe because of its connection to cancer. So they can put a pure essential oil on the shelf and have hexane in it, which you can't use in Europe. You can also have up to 80 to 95% of alcohol in a grade C oil. So you can actually get tipsy if you go to the store and you get an essential oil that's a grade C oil, because there's way more alcohol than there is oil in there. Grade D, which is the lowest grade, is floral water. And that's for, that's actually the one that's for aromatic purposes only. So even grade C, you can put that in your body, even though it's hexane. Grade D is floral water, which is aromatic only and is a byproduct of grade A distillation. So a farmer goes to all this work, plants these plants, gets them to peak health. There's the most, wonderful things in the plant possible. Harvest the plant, gets all the great stuff out of it. And once all the great stuff's out of it, what's left over is the floral water, the trash water that they don't need, doesn't have any purpose. So then the farmer doesn't need it, sells it to another company. That company puts 5% of that trash water into a bottle, fills the 95% up with whatever they want, and then puts it on the shelf and calls it a pure oil. So if you have seen the aromatherapy section at Walmart, which I saw in like August of last year, and I thought, really, Walmart? Like how, A, okay, so it's a thing now, aromatherapy is a thing, and B, like how is this something that I want to be using? Well, that's how Walmart is selling it, and they're selling it cheap because there's no rules and regulations. So I'm here tonight to go through the Essential Oil 101, what's the deal with essential oils, but what I don't want you to do is run out to Walmart or run out to even Whole Foods or Amazon and go buy an essential oil, because there's no FDA guidelines, and so you could be getting hexane in a bunch of stuff that you don't want. So before you buy an oil, I want you to make sure that you know where it came from, that the farmer that actually farmed their own plants, they own their farms, that from the time that they plant that seed in the ground until the time they seal up that bottle, that you know what happened to that oil, you know it's 100% pure. So besides the fact that the essential oils that I bought last year from Young Living worked so well, the reason that I believe in Young Living is because of that exact thing. They have a seed to seal promise, which means that they plant the seed, they grow the seed, they harvest the seed, they put it in the bottle, and you know exactly what is in there. So actually, not only do you know what's in there, but they own their own land, which means that there is nobody else had that land before. It's all virgin land. Okay, so you're not worried about whatever the farming practices were before. Were there chemicals in the ground already when they bought the land? That also means it's hand weeded. There are no pesticides used, no chemicals, no weed killers. And then they actually have a team of scientists which go out there onto the farm when they're ready to harvest, and every day, several times a day, they check to make sure that it's at peak efficiency, that there's the most power in that plant before they actually cut down the plant and harvest it. So those little mom and pops, even though they're trying to do a great job, they can't do that because they don't have the ability to make sure they're getting the best product. They just don't have the manpower. So what I'm telling you basically is the government's not going to help you out. It's very hard to do what Young Living is doing, to own all of your plants, to have an entire team that's going to make sure that you're getting the most pure product. And that's why they've got the best product. They have the best essential oils in the world, and that's why you're going to pay a little bit more for them. So why are other companies making them cheaper? I mean, some are pretty close, but why are the ones at Walmart, why are they so cheap, right? And the reason for that, of course, is because if they're cheap, they can get more people to buy them, right? And as a business, a lot of businesses, that's what you want. Problem is, in order to get them that cheap, they have to cut corners. So if you use pesticides, you get more crop. If you use solvents like hexane, you pull more oil out of the actual plant. If you use a cheaper oil, a carrier oil, and put 95% or alcohol, then it costs you less to put that on the shelf and label it pure. So most essential oils are sold cheaply because they're made cheaply. And so you're paying less money to get, 5% essential oil instead of 100%. So how are the oils made? So another reason that they're expensive, or people think that they're expensive, is because it takes a lot of plant to make a little bit of essential oil. 60,000 rose blossoms to get 1 ounce of rose oil. It's lavender, which is abundant. It's 7 pounds of oil for 220 pounds. And jasmine flowers have to be hand-picked the first day that they bloom before the sun gets too hot. And so that makes it the most expensive oil on the planet, obviously. 8 million hand-picked blossoms produce 2.2 pounds of oil. A sandalwood tree has to be 30 years old and 30 feet tall before you can cut it down to use it for essential oil. But good news is, a little goes a long way. So the Young Living oils are generally somewhere between $10 to $30 per bottle of oil, and a 5 ml bottle contains about 90 drops. 15 ml bottle contains about 250 drops. So each application, every time you use it, use 1 to 3 drops. So that means a small bottle could give you 45 to 90. And obviously do the math. The bigger bottle gives you a lot more uses. So for me, that looked like buying 2 oils that cost me $50. And then I had those oils for 1.5 to 2 months. And before that, I had been buying my thyroid medicine, and that was costing me about $100 a month. And it was poorly masking my symptoms and wasn't helping my body heal. So from a money perspective, obviously this is a no-brainer, way better deal. But from a health perspective as well, it's actually supporting your body rather than masking symptoms. If you want to think about, not put the health aside for a second, if you want to talk about just not putting chemicals in your body, the cleaners are a great deal as well. If you watch the DIY that I have on my personal page for the Thieves Cleaner, you can take that cleaner, it's 14 ounces, and you can make 14 big spray bottles, 30-ounce spray bottles, for $1.50 each. So that is cheaper than the cheapest thing you could get at the grocery store, spray bottle wise, to have for all of your cleaning purposes. Replace your Windex, replace your bleach, replace your scrubbing bubbles or whatever you use in the bathroom. So for $1.50, you can have an essential oil, plant-based, scary chemical-free cleaner as well. So are they safe? Obviously, chemicals are not safe, right? But are the essential oils, if you're going to replace them, are they safe? So there's a couple things that you want to keep in mind. There are a few different essential oils that are photosensitive, which means that they have a sensitivity to light. And that's usually your citrus oils. So you've got grapefruit, lemon, bergamot. And so those, you don't want to slather it all over your face and all over your hands and arms and go out and garden for 3 hours, because you could actually blister up. It's like getting a sunburn. Think about back in the day when we used to do, you put lemon juice in your hair and then you go out and it bleaches your hair, right? So same sort of a thing. They're photosensitive. So you want to be mildly careful about that. When you're using any oil on your skin, you do want to test just to make sure before you start doing it that you don't have any irritation, right? So you just want to do a little test patch, pick a spot on your skin, and just do 1 drop and see how that works. And if it's fine, like for me, none of them bother me. I can put the essential oils on my skin neat with no carrier, and it doesn't bother me. But if you have really sensitive skin, or if you do a patch test and you discover that there is some redness, all you have to do is dilute it with a carrier oil. And I'll explain that in a second, and that'll keep the redness from happening. So for kids, always dilute on kids. They have more sensitive skin and more permeable skin. And so you always want to use a carrier oil, and you also probably want to put it on the bottom of their feet. So I actually, every single day, I put oil on the bottom of my feet because that way I can put 3 or 4 and I don't go to work and I smell like some weird, essential oil concoction. But also it's a great way, your feet are less sensitive and it soaks them up very quickly and gets it into your bloodstream very quickly. So if you're going to dilute with a carrier oil, you can raise your hand if you know what a carrier oil is. Carrier oils are the fatty oils. So the oils that you cook with, coconut oil, what are they? Grapeseed oil, olive oil. Those are the fatty oils. They're the carrier oils, and they have really big molecules. The essential oils are all of the other oils, and they have little tiny molecules, right? And so when you combine the two, if you put like a dime size of olive oil in your hand and then 1 drop of essential oil, mix that around, put it in your skin, now all those little tiny molecules of the essential oils have to bounce around between the bigger molecules to get down into your skin, so it takes longer, and that can reduce the irritation. So that's why it's better for kids and if you have sensitive skin. Last thing is, you can get desensitized to essential oils. So you don't want to use the same one over and over and over again for years and never switch it up, because your body at some point will be like, okay, yeah, we got it. Peppermint, yeah, we know. use something else. So you do want to, like for my, the ones that I initially started taking for my endocrine system, there are some other oils as well that work for your endocrine system. So I'll just, every few days, I'll not use the original ones and I'll use a couple other oils, and that keeps your body happy because it's giving them new information and new help to take in. Okay, what about internal use of essential oils? So the NAHA, which is one of the top aromatherapy schools in the US, they do not recommend internal use. And the reason for that is, if you think about it, because they're not FDA regulated, they don't know, the NAHA doesn't know what's in these oils that they would be recommending to people, right? So if you have an oil that's got hexane in it and it's 95% alcohol, you don't want to be telling people to go drinking that. So they're not going to recommend it at all because they want to make sure that you're using quality products, and they can't control that. The other reason is that they actually use the British method. They go by the British system, which is all topical. And the Brits did some scientific tests a little while ago, and basically what they did was take a whole bottle of oil, pour it inside someone's body, and then see how they react. Well, obviously, if you take in a whole bottle of essential oil, it's like eating a whole apple tree, right? So that's not going to end well. But because of that reason, they don't recommend for internal use. So Young Living does recommend internal use because they do all of the methods: the British method, the topical, the aromatherapy, the Germans, and the French, which is the internal use. And they've been cooking with essential oils for decades with no issues, right? So what Young Living did is they created a vitality line, which is a line of essential oils. They have different labels on them so that you know which ones they are, and those are the ones that are approved for internal use. They're actually also, they have GRAS, generally recognized as safe essential oils, is another thing that Young Living has. A lot of people don't have. So you basically, if you're using a vitality oil, you know that's meant for internal use. Okay, on the flip side, thinking about internal use, what are the things that we put in or on our body every single day that are scary for us, that are not good, right? So skin and body products, cleansers, food. I could go into a whole big thing about the food's scary thing about food today, but that's for another time. But the average woman puts over 300 chemicals on her body every single day, and 80 of those before breakfast, and all of that is just from skin, beauty products, and hair care products. So 300 chemicals every single day. You don't know what that is. You don't know how that's affecting your body, and that's terrifying. So when you use Young Living essential oils, you're getting one thing in the bottle. You're getting lemon or peppermint. You're getting oregano or bergamot. You know exactly what is in there without anything extra, without anything you can't pronounce stuck at the back of that. So I've given you a lot of information. You might feel overwhelmed. You might think, well, now I'm scared about what's in my kitchen cabinet, my bathroom cabinet. You should go look because it is scary. But you're scared about that. You know that essential oils have helped me. You feel like they will probably help you too. But now what do you do? So I'm going to tell you what I wish I had done when I started with essential oils. I wish that I had gotten the Young Living starter kit. And the reason for that is it's the best deal on the website. So everything is 50% off. That kit is 50% off the value of that you would usually spend for those products. It also entitles you to a wholesale discount. So any other products you buy for the rest of your life are 24% off. So that's a killer deal. So why didn't I do it? Well, the reason I didn't do it was because when I first bought my 2 bottles of oil, I was a little bit confused. I didn't understand how it works, just like you guys. I also just knew I just want this to support my thyroid. And I thought, well, I've got some eucalyptus, I've got some tea tree oil, I've got some stuff that, I bought it at Whole Foods. Like, that's got to be fine, right? I didn't know the whole FDA thing yet. And so I said, let me just get these 2 bottles. Well, of course, I fell in love with them. They've been amazing. They've changed my life. And so immediately I realized I should have gotten the starter kit. That was a better deal. So I went back and I bought the starter kit. And so that's why I really think that that is what you guys should do. Don't do what I did. Don't skip the discount. Don't just get the 2 bottles for exactly what you think you want to fix, because the thing is that starter kit is actually created to run the gamut so that you get the experience of what they can all do for your body. So I'm going to go through each of those oils that are in the starter kit and kind of explain to you why they chose those to be in there. So I just want to show you real quick. This is the adorable starter kit. I forgot to show you all the last time I did this class. And this is all the ones that are in there, plus there's an extra one. So I'm going to go through what those are. Now when they put the starter kit together, it's the 11 most popular oils, okay? Why are they so popular? Well, because they do so many different things for your body. They support so many different body systems. So when you get that kit, you're going to experience a lot of improvement in a lot of different areas, which is amazing. That's what you're looking for. So frankincense, the first one, is one of the top skin oils, okay? I already mentioned that it has over 10,000 uses, making it the coconut oil of essential oils. It's always been, since ancient times, has been revered as one of the best oils. It helps smooth the appearance of your skin, and it's also a key ingredient in Young Living's Brain Power blend. You can diffuse it during prayer or meditation. Remember when we were talking about the limbic system and the help on your emotions that they can give. So frankincense works as for focus as well as concentration, grounding, purpose. So it's a fantastic meditation or prayer oil. A lavender is an oil of relaxation. So you can diffuse that at the end of the evening when you get home from work, long day. You can put a couple drops in your bath. It's also excellent. I actually put lavender on the bottom of my feet every night before I get in bed. It's excellent for that as well. It's also great for your skin. So one of the first things I did when I got my starter kit, I love natural skincare products. And it's kind of sad that anytime you buy it from somebody else, they've had to put some sort of stabilizer in there to get it to you, right? So if I create my own, there's nothing else except exactly what I want. So I just took grapeseed oil and then frankincense, copaiba, and lemon. We'll talk about those in a second. And that's what I use instead of lotion after I wash my face. But I also, for my under eyes, I use lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So that lavender is a great one for your skin. Peppermint, speaking of that, is great for gastrointestinal health. It's fantastic for promoting healthy bowel function and enhanced healthy gut function. It helps maintain efficiency of the digestive tract, and it may also help support your performance during exercise. So I'm not a giant exerciser. However, I have heard that it works, so I'm going to go find a giant exerciser and have them test it out for me. So peppermint, being a great gastrointestinal oil, basically, I start every day. I got my water here, but I take a glass, there you go, a glass water thing, and I put a tall glass of water in there, and then peppermint and lemon, and that really gets your system started. Purification, which is a blend, that you can diffuse to freshen the air and eliminate odors. You can add it to a carrier oil to moisturize it on your skin or put on the bottom of your feet. If you want your feet smelling as rosy at the end of the day as it did at the beginning, then it's a good thing to put that purification on before you put your socks on in the morning. You can also use it for an annoyance-free outdoor experience during the summertime. Thieves, Jenny, I see your question. I'll go back and answer it at the end. Thieves help support a healthy respiratory system and helps maintain overall wellness when diffused or taken as a dietary supplement. You can also add a drop to a hot beverage for a spicy zing. So I like to do chai tea, or sometimes I even just do the hot water and then the thieves and a little bit of lemon during the evening. And it's super warming, super comforting, delicious. And it's helping support respiratory issues as well as general wellness. So that's amazing there too. It's also Thieves is what's in the products, the whole cleaning line that Young Living has. There's actually a really cool story about how Thieves, that product came about. During the Black Plague, there are actually a bunch of thieves in the south of France, and they were stealing from the dead, stealing from people who were almost dead, and getting away with it and not getting sick. And they finally got caught. And when they got caught and they were put on trial, and they said, okay, we'll let you off, we won't kill you. We'll let you off a little bit easier if you tell us how in heaven's name have you not gotten sick. And when they told them what they were using, it was a blend of a bunch of essential oils, and those are the oils that make the Thieves blend. So that's a super cool story. if you're not going to get sick during the Black Plague, that must be good. So stress away. Stress away promotes wellness and can be an important daily part of your wellness regimen. It's one of the top emotional oils. It's got a gorgeous smell. I'm back to the limbic system again. The fact that that goes straight into your emotions. It smells fantastic. And it's one of my favorite blends to use on my diffuser jewelry. So if I'm going to head off to a long day of work, then, you know, say it's the weekend, I'm at Trader Joe's. I love to have Stress Away on my diffuser necklace or my diffuser bracelet, and that'll help you get through the day a lot more easily. Lemon. The citrus flavor enhances the taste of food and water. It's also great to start the day with a tall glass. So like I said, do the lemon and the peppermint to get you going. It's also a key ingredient in Thieves and Ningxia Red, and it can also help support your immune system. Panaway is another blend. This one is great for use after you exercise. You've got sore muscles, so it soothes your muscles. It has a stimulating aroma. You can apply it to the back of your neck. You know, when you need that sort of an uplift. I would recommend trying it after a late night out with friends. You wake up the next morning, put some of that on, see how that works for you. Copaiba. So this is a wood oil. I had never heard of it before, and apparently that's because you can only get it from Young Living. So it's a wood oil that promotes overall wellness, and it supports nearly every single system in the body. It also smells amazing. I love to diffuse frankincense and copaiba together. That is a really calm, grounding, focusing experience. Digest is one of the top oils for digestion. You place a couple drops under your tongue in the morning as well for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then swig the lemon peppermint water because it does not taste great, but it is fantastic for digestion. You can also take it in a veggie capsule, you know, just pour it inside the veggie capsule with carrier oil and just take it that way so you don't have to taste it. You can also use it with Essential Zyme, which is a digestive enzyme blend to support your digestive system. Okay, lastly, RC, which is another great one for a healthy respiratory system. You can diffuse it for a comforting aroma. It contains eucalyptol, so it's another one that's great for the winter time. It basically just encourages and supports an atmosphere breathing comfort. So that's all 11 oils. And you can see, we talked about muscular, we talked about digestive, respiratory, emotion, and so all of those things are all of the different body systems that we need help with, right? And so that's why they create the kit to have those 11, because it's going to give you the depth and the breadth of experience that you need to have to get on a wellness track, okay? So how do you get the starter kit? So it's pretty simple. However, you may hate technology, so I'm going to go through it with you. But you're going to go to youngliving.com and you'll click on Become a Member, and then it's going to ask you for the enroller and sponsor number. And so my number is 113-79166, 113-79166. And what that basically does is that puts you on my team so that I'm there to support you and to help you as you go through this journey and you want to branch out into some other oils and you want to understand how to use the ones that are in the kit. So you can also go, I created a tiny URL to make it a little bit easier. So tinyurl.com/Lulamay Essentials, Lulamay Essentials. And that'll get you to the Become a Member page, and it already has my number filled in, so you don't have to write it down or try and remember it. So I've explained to you why I'm passionate about essential oils, right? Like what it is that actually works with essential oils. But I want you to understand why I'm passionate enough that I'm having this call with you, and I'm not just taking care of myself. Why am I so passionate about this that I want to help educate other people about it? It's because I've seen such a giant change in my life. If you know me, if you've known me for over a year, you remember me when I was exhausted, physically, emotionally, spiritually, exhausted in all of the ways. And I just felt like I'm going to have to take more and more of this medicine, of this thyroid stuff for the rest of my life. I don't want that. I don't want to be tired. I don't want my hair to be falling out. I don't want to cry every morning because I have to go to work and I don't think I'm going to make it, right? So I had already tried changing my food. I had already tried getting rid of the chemicals and not taking in as many chemicals. I had the problem was I had reduced stress. I had tried to get better sleep. I was having trouble sleeping still though, and I was still feeling stressed, and I was still feeling exhausted. And so when I used these essential oils and I started to feel better day after day after day until a month later I wasn't having to take the medication, that is why I'm so passionate about this. And when I see other people suffering from the same things that I have, or other emotional, spiritual, mental, physical issues, I want to help them. I don't want them to have to suffer anymore. And so now I feel like I'm not just taking a shot in the dark. I actually have something that I know about that can really change people's lives. And I want to make sure that I don't just keep it for myself, that I actually share it with you guys so that you can have the type of transformation that I was able to have. So how do you get the oils? You can talk to me if you want. You can email me. You can shoot me a text, you can Facebook message me, and you can tell me what are your life focuses, what's going on in your health, your spiritual, mental, physical, whatever it is, what are you focusing on? And I can tell you one or two oils, and you can do exactly what I did, and you can go get those oils, and you can pay retail price, and it can change your life. Or you can learn from my mistake, and you can just go get the starter kit. Because the thing is, if we have this conversation, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people, I have a yeast infection, I have headaches, I have digestive problems, I also have a thyroid thing, and they'll tell me this, and I go do a bunch of research for them, and the thing is that it comes up with oils in the starter kit every single time. So what you need to do is get that starter kit, because then you're going to get that depth and breadth of experience. Okay, so starter kit comes with the 11 oils. It comes with this diffuser, and it comes with some sample bottles, so that you can share it with your friends. It also comes with a sample of Ningxia Red, which is the antioxidant wellness drink that you can take every single morning. Tastes delicious, will support all of your wellness and your immunity issues. So it comes with all of those other things. The total for that is $160, and so you're getting a steal of a deal on this diffuser. I had already bought a diffuser on Amazon, which kept getting moldy and disgusting, so I stopped using that one when I got this diffuser, because this one works like a charm. And the oils, you're getting all of that for 50% off. And if you can imagine, I'm embarrassed to say how much money I spent at Whole Foods on all of these different natural wellness things that didn't change my life like this. This kit for $160 is the best money that you're going to spend. It is the way to start actually getting healthy, and to actually start supporting your body systems. So the other thing, we talked about the other thing that you get is the 24% off wholesale discount, right? So you can, if you want, you can get the oils and you can share them with other people, and you can have people on your team, and you can make a small percentage based on that. However, in order to get the 24% off, you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. If you just want to use the oils, all you have to do is spend $50 at least once a year, okay? At least one time a year, $50. That's on an oil, that's on the Thieves Cleaning Supplies, it's on any of the things that they carry that can help you change your life, get rid of the chemicals in your house. And if you spend $50, you get 24% off any of those purchases, okay? Once you sign up, what do? Okay, so now you're on my team. So I want you to get in touch with me. I want you to let me know my kit's on the way. You can find me through Facebook, my blog, ask for my phone number, give me a call, send me a text, because I want to help you understand how to use it. We can unpack the diffuser together. If you're like, electronics, I don't know, it's super easy, but I can go through that with you as well. I can go through the different ways that I'm using the products. I'm going to keep doing videos on that. But I want to teach you how to help yourself. So I'm going to give you some of the Facebook groups that I'm in, some of the literature that I've looked at, and you can do your own research, and that way every time you have a sniffle, you don't have to come ask me. You know how to figure it out yourself. So I'm going to help you learn and get farther along on this journey. So, okay, I'm going to be real for a second. I'm a creator, an entrepreneur, a maker, a writer, an educator. I could have just kept doing all of that, the creative stuff, and not gotten into the health side of things. The problem is my health affects my creativity, right? I can't be a creative person without being a healthy person. And so I just feel like I would be doing a disservice if I just kept creating and not telling people about the health side of things. And so I want to be able to share that with you. I want to be honest. I don't want to pretend like I spent a bunch of years, if you know more about my story, the emotional side of things, I spent a bunch of years pretending like everything was fine when everything was not fine. I just wrote a blog post recently. You can go watch about how my hypothyroidism was really a gift. It was my body telling me, you're living a lifestyle that is not sustainable. If I'm stressed out all the time, if I have a job where I work from 4 a.m. to 3 a.m., and my schedule changes all the time, a lot of emotional stressors in my life, and I would wake up every morning and I would cry. And I would say, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can go to work. I don't think I can deal with these people. I don't think I can, break down pallets and talk to people and I'm just exhausted. It was awful. And I really felt like, I'm 29 years old. Like, I got to do this for 50 more years. How, if I am this exhausted now, how am I even going to do that? And, then even when I started doing my creative stuff, I was still exhausted. I thought it was going to fix everything if I made myself happy creatively, but I was still exhausted because I still had a lot of other health issues to work through. So the fact that I'm on the other side of this gives me the confidence and the responsibility to help you guys get to the other side of it as well. Whatever it is you're going through, it might just be getting colds all the time. It might be something simple like that. It might be dealing with stress. It might be whatever it is to help you guys get to the other side of this. So how do you get in on it, right? youngliving.com, become a member, put in my number, 113-79166, page 1. Just ask you to fill out your basic information so you can get set up with an account, okay? And then page 2 is going to be choosing which kit you want. So you definitely want the premium starter kit with the diffuser. That's the one that has the 11 oils. You can pick whichever diffuser you want. I got the Dewdrop diffuser, but you can pick anyone, whatever one speaks to you, okay? Then there's one other question that they're going to ask you on page 3, and that is, do you want to do essential rewards? So I want you to know what that is before you get onto the site and get confused. So essential rewards, basically what it means, if you're going to be doing this to change your life, if you want to replace chemicals in your home, if you want to replace the things you're taking to mask your symptoms that are not helping support your body, then you're probably going to be spending $50 a month at least. That's just life. Even to get the cleaning supplies, get a couple of different oils, you're going to be spending $50 anyway. So they have essential rewards, which basically sets you up so that you have a recurring order of at least $50, and you can change that anytime. You can get different oils. One month I got my Thieves cleaning kit. That came this month. The month before was my EndoFlex blend that I use for my endocrine system. The month before that was the starter kit. So whatever it is that you're getting, it can change every month. But as long as you're doing that $50 order on the essential rewards, you're getting 10% back to start out with, and then the number increases, but you're getting 10% back towards free oils, and you're getting a deal on the shipping. So it's kind of a no-brainer, but I just don't want you to be confused when you get to that page and you're like, oh, she didn't tell me about this. So you decide if you want to do that, and then the last page is simply just your shipping and the payment information, and then you're done. And then you're on my team, and then we're going to do this journey together, and we're going to help you grow and learn how to use the different products. So connect with me again. If you've watched this whole thing and you're intrigued but you're not sure, or if you're still confused the way that I was confused when I got on and ordered my first 2 bottles, that's fine. Life is as I keep saying, life is a journey. So send me a Facebook message, send me a text, give me a call, send me an email. And I actually have on my website, I offer not only a crystal consultation for my crystal jewelry, but I also offer an essential oil consultation. What it does is it just asks you 6 simple questions about what's going on in your life, what are your life focuses, and gives me the information I need to do some research and find out what's going to be the best oils for you. And then I'll send that back to you and we can get started. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off the live call. Jenny, I know you had a question and I want to answer that question, but I just want to be able to get through everything. Just a reminder, so FDA disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, right? Essential oils do not cure diseases, they support body systems. So if you're going to ask me a question, don't ask me about curing something. Ask me about the type part of the body that you want supported. That way it's a question that I can answer. So that's all I have, and I'm going to get off now, but then I'm going to answer any questions you guys have. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. Every single person that took time to learn about this, to hear my story, to hear why I'm so excited about it. I really appreciate you coming, and I am happy to answer any questions you have. All right, guys, so I'll be in here for a little while to answer questions. Thanks so much.